Hi everyone, welcome to Chimla's Automation. In this video, we will learn about greater than, less than, greater than or equal, and less than or equal. In greater than, there is a we are comparing always with two inputs, input 1 and input 2. If input 1 is higher than input 2, then the output will be on condition. If input 1 is lower than input 2, the output will be off. Similarly, in less than, opposite to greater than. So, in less than, if input 1 is higher than input 2, the output will be off. And similarly, if input 1 is lower than input 2, the output will be off. There is only two conditions in greater than and less than. But in greater than or equal and less than or equal, total three conditions. So first two conditions are same as here, and there is one more condition is if both inputs are equal, in both cases less than or equal and greater than or equal, the output will be on. See here, input 1 equal to input 2, the output will be on. Remaining all both are same as greater than and less than. That is the only difference in greater than and less than or greater than or equal. So these functions we will see in the programming how to use and how to compare these functions. Now we will see in the program how to compare these values. Here is our program, greater than, less than. You can see here symbols from the comparator list. This is my greater than. I means integer, D means double integer, and R means real. If you are comparing with integer, you can use greater than integer, and if you are comparing double integer, that is greater than double integer greater than. And real means it's like we are using floating points. If you want to compare with like some instead of a decimal points like 10.2, 10.5, 20, 20.5, something like this, like decimal points, you can use real comparators. And if you are using like huge big number, if you want to compare, then you can use double integer. It depends on your program what value you are using. For example, now we will take integer, greater than, symbol is greater than integer and less than, and here is greater than or equal and less than or equal. I'm downloading this program to my CPU and click on monitor. Now my program is in online. See here, MW0 is your word address. If you are using double integer, you can use MD0. So here MW0 is first word, MW2 is second word. There is two words to compare these two inputs. Same address, I'm using all comparators to show the difference. MW0 is my input 1, MW2 is input 2. To enter these values to PLC option, there is option called monitor or modify variables. Click on this option. You can enter here which value you want to modify or you want to enter values. For example, if you want to compare two temperatures, and or if you want to vary the set points of temperatures, for example MW0, you can enter here MW2. These values are I want to display in decimal. Display format is decimal to understand easily. So MW0 and MW2 I enter initially. So if two values are equal in greater than and less than, in greater than is output is 0 and less than output is 0. But in greater than or equal and less than or equal, already we discussed previously, if two inputs are equal, the output will be on in greater than or equal and less than or equal. So that's why the output is on in both conditions. If I enter here modify value, for example, if I enter 10 and input 2 is 20, modify. See, when I modified, my input 1 is 10, input 2 is 20. So based on our theory, if input 1 is lower than input 2, the output will be off in greater than comparator. If input 1 is lower than input 2, the output will be on in less than comparator. But in less than or equal and greater than or equal, now it will work same as the less than and greater than comparators. If I change to this one 30 and variable, so now only greater than or is working. Greater than and greater than or equal, both comparators are on. See, input 1 is higher than input 2, both are on. Greater than or equal and greater than. When input 2 is higher, both less than and less than or equal are high. If both inputs are equal, only less than or equal and greater than or equal outputs are high. These two are off. That is the difference. In this way we can use these instructions in programming where you want to compare two values, like for example temperatures, pressure and distance. Anything you want to compare in the program you can use. For example, when my temperature reaches above 40 degrees, I want to turn on my output. Or when my temperature is below 40 degrees, I want to turn on my output. Or if my temperature is equal to 40, I want to turn on my output. In this way you can use in your program when you want to turn off the outputs based on your logic. Based on your requirement, you can use these comparators. Thank you for watching.